Okay, this is 302 introduction, electricity magnetism. Had most of you guys before. I'm just doing this virtually this time. We've only got 13 weeks to get in a whole lot of material and trying to make the best use of class time as possible. So we're going to do the syllabus introduction virtually, and I'm going to go over the syllabus, and I expect you to watch this the first day of class or before the class starts on the first day. Granted, because some of you are split into Monday and Wednesday, we'll talk Monday, Friday. I'll talk about the way I'm doing class there. We'll kind of go from there and make that work. It's going to be a little unique, and it's going to take a little bit on your part to really stay up with the online stuff or the blended learning portion of this. It's not going to be easy, honestly, for me or you. So just try to give each other a little grace and some patience with each other as we go on. We kind of figure this out as we go a little bit. All right, let me just go over here. It's Physics 302. Class will meet Mondays, Fridays, 1 to 2 p.m. If we need to do an overflow class, probably won't, but that will be in 109, in 107. We're going to meet in 109, I think is what I have here. Lab will be in 107. I may have those backwards. The classroom I'm in now, where we normally have done our lectures, is where we're going to do lecture at. My email address, you can go into, you can see that douglas.9@lr.edu. My phone probably only work if I'm there. Even if you have my cell phone, if you need it, you can text me. I give you my personal cell phone, and it's Benji's 201Q. So what's in electricity and magnetism? We're going to study electric potential and electrostatic fields, look at Laplace and Poisson's equation, look at dielectrics and capacitors, property of those, electrostatic energy, current, magnetic fields and energy, magnetic property of materials, electromagnetic induction, and Maxwell's field equations with applications. That's a lot. I expect you to have had the second semester of Calc-Based Physics intro course and Math 270, which I think is differential equations or an equivalent for that. The book is The Introduction to Electrodynamics, 4th edition, David Griffiths. There should be used copies out there if you want. Go online and look either Amazon, abebooks.com, you can find it. So class will be lecture, demonstration, solving problems on the board, in-class quick Q&A. You know the deal, guys. Classroom is an adult professional learning environment. Class will begin on time and end on time. I've got an hour. As soon as we get started, I'm going to try my best to rock and roll because we got to get going. We got a lot of stuff to go over in 13 weeks. I'll be ready to begin when class begins and be engaged the whole time. I will go straight for an hour. I may call you on publicly to answer questions relevant to the topic at hand, and I'll expect you to ask questions during the lecture, relevant questions. You're expected to have read the material I'm going to talk about before a lecture on that topic occurs. Okay, I'll be putting out a daily schedule. I expect you to treat others as you wish to be treated. Of course, non-professional, disrespectful behavior to fellow students or myself, the professor, will not be tolerated. This is an imperative. We can get along, and we're going to. Some of the topics in the course, based on the book, vector analysis, that's chapter 1. We get electrostatics, potentials, electric fields and matter. Of course, you can read the rest. Magnetic fields, electrodynamics, and electromagnetic waves. You see the sections I'm going to cover in the book from chapter 1. So we're looking at chapter 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And the sections I'm going to go over in those are listed there. Like in chapter 9, I'm only going to do the first 2 sections on it. So how's the physical class going to be going about? So traditional lectures and other forms of in-person instruction will occur each Friday and Monday in class. You must show up either Monday or Friday for the split you are in. Okay, you've got to show up. You've got to show up to class once a week. That's required. And the only way that can be excused is, it has to go through an excused absence for that. If you want to show up for both days of the lecture, I'm perfectly fine. We can fit 12 in this classroom right now. The way I think things are going to work, we can probably fit most everyone in this class Mondays and Fridays. If you want to show up 2 days, show up. You don't have to. You know the way things go with lecture. If you want to watch lecture on video, but if you don't show up Monday because you're in that Friday split, you're expected to watch the Monday lecture because I'm going to record that lecture, put it on the internet, either YouTube it or something. Probably YouTube. I'll just record the Zoom and then YouTube it. You're expected to watch that lecture because I'm going to go sequential. Now, saying that, what about the normal when we have Wednesdays? Wednesday, you know, we don't have any classes this time. So Wednesday is going to be all online, like it was back the previous semester. What I'm going to do there, Wednesdays is just going to be like an online day. So late Tuesday, early Wednesday, I'll release or sometime Wednesday, I'll release Wednesday's lecture. There'll be a video. I will be, like I am now, I have a camera on the board, and I'll be lecturing to you virtually, pre-recorded. And you're expected to take notes from that. Now, how can I help you to want to take good notes of that lecture? Well, your handwritten notes of the Wednesday lecture is due before you come to the next class. That will have to be turned in via Canvas. I want that in a PDF manner. I had some issues last time with different file formats and stuff. I expect it to be right side up, no mirror image, no laying down. I don't want to take my monitor and try to move it around like that or so. Having to do that in software and file format, I might not have seen before that much. I run PCs, so if you run Macs, make sure it's in a file format that a PC can easily read, which is either PDFs work. They cross operating systems. So make sure you put it in a PDF is really what I want in that format when you turn those physical notes in. If you say you're doing it by computer, some of you do, but I want handwritten notes for that Wednesday class, okay? And if you do it, it's an easy 100. It's 100. I'll count it as part of the quizzes and homework grade, so that just bumps that grade up. But you got to do it each time. I'll grade it on a 0 to 10. It'll be like a quiz. Again, I basically say that's a hard requirement. So if you want to think of the way things are going to go, first day of class, Monday, I'll start lecturing. Some of you will be here, some may not. That's your choice. If you're not here on Monday because you're in the Friday split, I expect you to watch the Monday video. It will be put online. I expect you to watch it before you come to the class on Friday. Wednesday will be all virtual for everybody. I'll release a Wednesday lecture sometime, maybe late Tuesday, sometime Wednesday. You're expected before the Friday class to have watched that video and taken notes and submitted those notes to me before Friday class starts. Friday class happens. If you're in the Friday split, you have to be here that Friday. If you're on the Monday group, you don't have to be there that Friday, but if you do want to, it's perfectly fine to do so. And it's up to you guys. I'm not going to recommend either way, but this is a 300 level class, and being here physically and asking questions while something's being discussed and learning intently in that manner, for a lot of you it may help. But I can't make you do it about LR policy, so I'm just going to leave it up to you. It's your choice. So I'll lecture that Friday. If you don't come to lecture on Friday because you're in the Monday split, I expect the Monday people to have watched that lecture before class starts the next Monday. That next Monday, I'll just continue lecturing on what I did on Friday. It's basically like we would do a traditional semester, except you basically have to watch a minimum of one of those lectures online, the Wednesday, and possibly 2 of the lectures online, either Wednesday and Monday or Wednesday and Friday. I hope that makes sense. Give it a week and a half, and it'll make sense. With a little bit of grace initially, we'll get it to work. Your grades will be based on tests, cumulative final, homework, class participation, and lab write-ups. How are we going to do tests? We're going to do tests at the end of each chapter this time. I normally don't do that, but we're going to do that. There'll be quick take-homes. By quick, I mean I'll give them to you, say, I'll give you 2 to 3 days max to get them done. Maybe I'll give them to you on a Wednesday and they're due a Friday. We'll figure out that. I'm looking 2 to 3 days on those. You know how to do take-homes. There'll be some conceptual. There'll be some problems. Normally it's a 2-to-1 split there. 2 on problems, 1 for questions, something in that range. Of course, there'll be specific point values, and I will give partial credit at my discretion. Labs will be in 107. We'll talk more about labs when we get in there. There is a Canvas page for the labs, so be sure to look at the Canvas page for the labs. I've got that up. I think I've already published that. I'm doing this on Wednesday now, so by the time class starts, it'll definitely be open. Maybe some floating labs on that. Basically, we have limited equipment. We'll see how that goes. Some things we're going to do in labs: analog digital circuits, oscilloscopes, magnetic forces, look at solenoids and electromagnetic waves, and maybe some filtering and signal stuff. Of course, homework, end of the chapter. This book has it along through the chapter, and I think I've got on Canvas all the problems that are assigned per chapter is already on Canvas. So make sure to look at that, because I'll state the ratio of the homework problems you did versus homework problems you were assigned. You've got to show work. If you don't show work, you don't get credit for the problem. Bottom line. Okay, you've got to do that. If I give you quizzes in class, that will count as effectively as 10 homework problems. There may be 2 or 3 random quizzes. The weekly ones that I have you do for the notes will count as well. I may not make it 10 because there's so much. They may only be like 5 points, like 5 homework problems. I don't count that much. Final exam will be cumulative. It'll be a take-home test. That'll be everything as far as we get through. So you can see the grading scale: 35% test, 20% homework and quizzes, labs 25, class participation is 5, and final exam is 15. I'm using 10-point grading scale. Of course, makeup test only for excused absences. Such as medical problem or college-sponsored events. You got to let me know ahead of time, not after the fact. Okay, if you just don't show up or you just don't turn it in, that's going to be real difficult to let you make up a test. Makeup labs. You got to let me know ahead of time. If you just don't show up for a week and you don't communicate to me, it tells me you don't care. You better have a real good excuse for that. And you better have some documentation for that as well. Late test and late homework. I don't take late homework. Late test, 50% reduction per day. So one day it's 50%, second day it's 0. So, I do say here 50% says due the day the test received, also 50%. So my apologies on that. So basically, if you turn in homework a day late, you get 50% credit for it. But that's a high incentive to just turn in what you got the day you turn in the test, the day the test is due. Attendance. Required to attend all scheduled class and lab meetings, but of course with the virus issues we got now, if you're sick or think you're getting sick, please do not come to class. We don't want to make physics the reason LR shuts down the in-class lessons and sends everybody home. I do not want that. Okay, so don't do that. And please follow the rules as an editorial comment. And help others, gently nudge them, especially the ones that aren't following certain masking and social distancing rules. Help them to do that, because we don't want to be like other schools where they shut down on-campus instruction. I want you to be here. You want to be here. Help the students that are, for whatever reason, not following certain rules. Help them to do that so we can all be here all semester. And if we can make that happen, it's going to look good for LR and in more ways than one. Help pure understanding. This is the course you need to be here to ask me questions about and get that personal interaction with. Continually being out, though, because you think you are sick but really are not, will definitely negatively affect your grade. If you think you're sick, go to Cornerstone. If you're going to be out being sick, just let me know before class. And I'll consider an excuse. It's good. I do ask for some documentation, though. Go to the school nurse, get an absence, so we got verification. And it's legitimately excused. If it's a school event, that's one thing. College-sponsored event, that's different. just let me know you're not going to be here. Any excused absent at the third, I'll lower your grade by 3 points. If you get more than 5, if you miss more than 5 unexcused classes, you're not going to, you're probably going to fail the course anyway. It'll just be an F. Of course, exceptions have to be dire. Phone uses, laptops, classroom environment. Some of you actually need to hear this. Professional classroom environment, so professional behavior is expected. Phone should be put on vibrate upon entering class and only out to look at a text and quickly put away or as requested by the professor. All phone calls should be taken outside the classroom. Texting, Snapchatting, whatevering should also occur outside the classroom. In other words, you know my list of stuff. I think I may have, I don't know if I added any this time. I'm going to put Rocket League in there or something. I don't know. TikToking. I know Topher loves TikTok, so I'm making TikTok videos in here, Topher, during class, all right, or watching them. Orin Lab, okay? Constantly checking your phone for whatever reason, and I've been saying whatever reason, without approval of the professor beforehand will not be tolerated. I'll give you a warning. I have to continue to give you a warning. I'll ask you to leave. If that becomes habitual, I'm going to ask you to leave the course. Don't make me do that, okay? Laptops. That's just some of you argue that's just a giant phone for some of you. You use it for this, like you would a phone. Using your laptop for non-classroom related work, like checking text or your fantasy football league or whatever league. Social media, personal web browsing, just for fun because I'm boring. You think I'm boring? No, I'm not. Is not going to be acceptable. And you'll be asked to close your laptop if this occurs. If it's habitual, of course, I'll be asking you to, get out of Dodge. You're to treat your fellow students, professor, politely, with dignity and respect, whether you agree with me or that person or not. Politics or other contentious topics unrelated to Physics 302. So if it's contentious related to 302, then I don't mind discussing it. It's got to be related to 302. I don't see politics and electricity and magnetism at 300 level probably coming together much for conversation. It might, who knows, it's 2020. But I doubt it. We're not discussing these things in class. When we do it outside class, I'm fine. We can have discussions outside. But as long as I'm acting as professor teaching this class, we're going to focus on the class. Okay? We're a professional classroom environment. It's not high school. It's not this isn't social media. And that's the expectation. Any issue of this matter will be quickly rectified as needed by the professor. Honor code, don't cheat. That also means copying homework. Okay? I've had instances of people copying homework. Don't do that. And ask for help. But don't say, help isn't, hey, let me see how you did the homework problem. Looking at it and copying how they did it. Not to be expected. If you want to get help on a homework problem, say, hey, how'd you do that? Well, I used conservation of energy here, and then I had to use that integral. Look on page 65. It's a lot of help there. That's cool. But don't copy. Don't plagiarize. You know the game. Inside your heart, you know if you cheated or not. Okay? Don't cheat. If I think you're cheating, I'm going to confront you on it. And we don't want that to happen, okay? This is a hard course. It's going to be difficult to do some of these homework problems. Heck, it's difficult for me to do some of these homework problems. You're going to see. That may be every so often I'm going to go, give me a minute to figure it out. But that's the nature of the beast here, okay? Do the problems. Take the time. This will require time, okay? I'm telling you, require time. We'll follow the honor code. So there's an issue, and after I have a discussion with it, if I don't think it's rectified, we will take it to the next level. Okay. Of course, if you have any disabilities, we don't discriminate on physical or mental disabilities in admission, treatment, or access. See Sherry Proctor if you have any disabilities, and we'll have appropriate accommodations made. Just follow it. It'll work. Okay. That's the syllabus introduction for Physics 302. Electricity and magnetism. I enjoy this course. I like this. It will show in my lectures. Be ready to listen fast and be able to learn deeply. But if I could tell you anything in here, time is going to help you learn. This is very abstract. This is a course where some would argue outside of this in quantum mechanics may be the most theoretical of the courses you have, the most non-physical type course where you can hold in your hand and see it per se. I will try to help you see electricity, magnetism with the word pictures. I will try to use to explain integral concept, not just integral being important, but integral being calculus integral concepts, using line integrals, surface integrals, volume area integral, surface area, same thing. Those sorts of things. And I will try to explain that using word pictures and creating pictures in your mind of the concepts that I'm trying to get across, which are, you're going to see calculus, you're going to, what does that even mean calculus-wise? But we got to see it in our heads, and I'm going to try to help you create that. Okay? You ready to work? And let's rock and roll. Go Bears.